Returning a book. You read? I didn't know your brain could handle that. Stars look down at me from the sky. Man, I wish I could lay on the grass. Because the reality is, if I lay on the grass, fire starts grabbing my neck and then start strangling me to death. Huh? You think you can mess with our anthills? You think you just step on your little FUBUs on our anthills? And I'm like, How y'all doing? It's your boy JC and welcome back to Everlasting No More. Y'all hitting the like go as usual. Appreciate it. I don't even have to tell you anymore. Honestly, you hit the like go. So appreciate it. 5 likes as always. The story is getting crazy. Well, not crazy, but just a little bit more interesting. It's picking up a little bit. I like it. I'm seeing things developing. Let's just get into it, bro. Let's get into the hypocrisy. How they gonna get out of this one, y'all? Look at this, you idiot. How do you use a flashlight to defend yourself? You had a weapon. My hand with the flashlight going up. Look at you. Falling all of that, complete darkness, rapid breathing, blood hammering in my temples. Silence, dreadful, heavy silence, merging with the darkness. I moved my hand trying to find the wall and then I felt someone's touch. Don't be afraid. I heard a familiar voice near me. Where are you, you damn lunatic? I shouted. He left. Which way did he go? Where to? Lena's voice didn't sound too calm, but certainly it didn't sound like it should in such circumstances. Calm down. She hugged me tenderly and pressed her body against mine. I tried to gather my senses and to recover my breath, to adapt to the darkness. What should we do next? You have a gun. Well, who do I shoot? I have a gun? It's loaded with a flare. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was about to say, I was like, she might be right. I took the gun from my belt and pointed it to the side and fire. Hey, yo. Okay, the room was illuminated by the bright red light. Okay. I was about to say, like, what do you mean by that? The flare lying in the corner looked like a firework or sparkler. Let's go quickly. It won't burn for too long. Where to? She pointed to the second door. It wasn't hard to open it, and we headed into the darkness. Right. We came here for this dude, and now he's tripping. The flare blurring more dimly with every second. I stumbled with every step. Even fell down a couple of times, but it did slow by pace. If it goes out. We fall inside a light in front of us and came to a ladder. Leading to the grating in the ceiling, the flare hissed and went out. Thank God. It turned out we were right under the statue of Genda. Whoa! There's a whole underground network? I was about to say, I thought y'all were gonna go back to where you came from. The grating was like sturdy, but we managed to open it after breaking the bolts with the flashlight. Holy what? There's a whole underground network? Oh, the CIA is watching y'all. After reaching the surface, I collapsed on the grass exhausted. That was terrible. Lena sat next to me. Just dreadful. By the time I didn't give a damn about this world, the camp, the 410 bus, or my previous life. The strangest and nastiest thing was that there was nothing supernatural in these events. Sir Shurik just went crazy. Insane. Nothing strange about it. I would have too in his position. Well, the thing is, like, why was he doing that? I'm like, I'm not gonna doubt the boy, but we gotta wonder why was he going crazy. Lena patted my head tenderly and smiled. It's all over now. I don't know. There's a crazy pioneer in the woods. You could even say a maniac killer. I mean, is he still down there or did he went out in the woods? I think he's gonna be all right. All right? I'm not sure about that. The most important thing is that we're okay. She still smiled. How could you be so calm? I told you before that I have nothing to be afraid of when I am with you. Oh my God, it's so heartwarming, but I know you don't care. Indeed, I might have saved Lena and myself back there, but it was only by chance, nothing more. If Shurik had been swifter or crazier. Thanks for the compliment. You're welcome. Though we still should have stayed here in the first place. You're probably right, she said calmly. I got really sleepy because of the stress of exhaustion and of how late night was. We should go to sleep. But I have to stand up and walk to the leader's cabin. I wasn't ready for that. My eyes closed just for a moment. The stars looked down at me from the sky. Man, I wish I could lay on the grass. Because the reality is, if I lay on the grass, fire starts grabbing my neck and then start strangling me to death. Huh? You think you can mess with our anthills? You think you just step on your little FUBUs on our anthills? And I'm like, I'm sorry, ant. I think you're cooler than the regular ants. And then I'm dead, you know? Stars looked down at me from the sky. Thousands of them, even millions. Now their light didn't seem to be so distant and cold. On the contrary, they twinkled to me, as if whispering among themselves, telling merry fairy tales in eager competition about a galaxy far, far away and violet fluffy piglets, about the mystery asteroid belts where ships have disappeared, about a fearless starship captain and his brave crew, about exceptional treasures and unreachable peaks of a planet on the edge of the universe. I wonder, is that a dream? I looked at myself a little and realized that my head was on Lena's lap. Did I sleep long? I asked in confusion, but didn't rush to get up. I don't know. I don't have a watch. She laughed. Approximately? Well, maybe 20 minutes. That's okay then. I laid down again, feeling nice and calm like never before. The events of the night were becoming distant, as if starting to forget them. Like the story the stars were telling me. Shirk has come back. What? I jumped on my feet instantly. There he is, sleeping on the bench. Lena pointed the bench in surprises. And what are you? You were sleeping so peacefully I didn't want to wake you up. I felt a shiver of fear because such behavior was not strange. It was just inappropriate. It scared me more than Shirk's insanity in the dungeon. A lunatic half an hour ago tried to kill us, arrives and lies on the bench and falls asleep. And she just sits here? Nothing to worry about. He just seems to be a little bit off. Lena got confused and blushed. He walked unsteadily and didn't look towards us, and if I'd made a noise, she was about to cry. It's alright, bro, damn, chill. Okay, don't worry. There was some logic to her words. She probably did the right thing. In any case, we had to interrogate Shirk thoroughly. I jumped up and walked quickly to the bench he was sleeping on and slapped him. Yeah, wake up. Ouch! He woke up at once. What the hell? What are you doing, you bastard? What? Shirk stared at me with a scared and moreover saying look. What was that all about down there? What? Where? In the dungeon, in the mine, in the bomb shelter. Did you go completely nuts? I don't understand you. We looked around. Why am I here? And where should you be in your opinion? Oh wait, I know. You should be in an asylum. I went to the old camp in the morning for the spare parts and then... You don't remember anything after that? Wait, what? This man get hit with the... What happened? Don't you remember anything after that? Lena asked after walking up to us. Yes, and I... Don't pretend. I said calmly and sat next to him. It really looked like he wasn't lying though. I don't understand anything. It's unscientific. Who cares? Don't think that I trust you. Memory loss can't occur. Just... Shirk talked to himself, mumbled something. Not paying us any attention. Let's go. Lena said quietly. Shall we just leave him here? He's not in his right mind. He has to sleep. It's dangerous to leave a psycho alone. He may strangle Nick with the induction coil in the night. He's going to be alright. Trust me. I had no reason not to trust her. However, I didn't have any reason to trust her either. On the other hand, who cares now? I wanted to fall asleep as quickly as possible. Okay. We left Shirk, was mumbling something to himself. Yeah, let's go tell the camp leader. We're here. What? Where? I have to go further on. Lena smiled. I hadn't thought about anything at all the way here. Just followed her, and I noticed that we come to Olga's cabin. Yes. Thank you for it. Today. It's nothing to thank me for. It's just good that we came back alive. We'll see what Shirk has to say tomorrow. Thanks anyway, she said mysteriously and averted her eyes. You're welcome. Well, it's time for me to go. Lena quickly turned around and walked quickly in the direction of her cabin. I suddenly had a thought that something about that was a bit off. Not quite right. After all that happened, well, it's time for me to go. It usually goes differently in such situations, doesn't it? Well, maybe she's more comfortable with you now. I have no idea what I expected, though. Exhaustion hit me. Again, walking with difficulty, I entered the cabin. The leader was sitting on my bed. Why are you sitting on my bed? Semyon. She started to talk sadly. Where have you been? Well, I prepared for a scolding. I didn't expect that reaction. I went to look for Shirk. Alone? I mean, what would be the consequences of telling that I went with Lena? I'ma just say I went with Lena. I don't want to lie. No, with Lena. So, what about Shirk? Looks like Olga was really worried about the fate of the lost pioneer. What's so strange about that? The leader can't treat her work lightly, but it doesn't mean that she's a heartless person. He's okay as he could be in such a situation. That's good. Go to sleep now. Okay. Wait, but she turned out the light quickly, showing that conversation's over. I couldn't ask anything. Yeah, is that it? That's all you're gonna say? That's good? Don't you want to go see about him before you go to bed? And how you just gonna take my word like that? Though, should I? Ask why she didn't scold me. Maybe it's because I went with Lena. Still, Lena. What happened today? My thoughts slowed their pace before stopping completely. Yo, okay, there's so much weirdness going on. I'm like, what is going on? We ran with the last of our strength, like those who run for their precious lives, like a doomed person knowing that there is no hope to save his life, will still fight the inevitable in his own fate. I barely managed to stay close to the heavy metal door behind me. Is this a nightmare? I have no idea how deep this bomb shelter is, or is it able to withstand a nuclear blast, but we have no other place to hide. She gripped my hand tight. Don't be afraid. Bits of the ceiling were falling, the walls were shaking. I was prepared for the worst, but death is the kind of thing that you can't ever be prepared for. Suddenly, complete silence fell. It rang even louder than the explosions. Maybe it's time to say goodbye. She was whimpering. I wanted to comfort her somehow, but realized that there was nothing I could do. Yes, I... Warning? I'm gonna have to do some headphone warnings. That's kind of loud. What the hell? A horrible bang almost split my eardrums. You don't gotta split mines. My man's. It seems that I'm under a piece of collapsed ceiling, but I don't feel any pain. All I want is to not let her go. Is this foreshadowing something? You know, when I think about it, all the dreams we've had in this game, they all kind of foreshadow something. I don't know. Because, like, the first dream we had foreshadowed Sovnyonok, and now this dream is foreshadowing something in the bomb shelter. I don't know. I woke up in a cold sweat, short of breath and gasping for air. Took me some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. Question in my mind, however, refused to believe it. But who was that girl with me there? Who was the girl in the first dream? I didn't want to let go of her hand so desperately. Sadly, I couldn't recall her at all. The clocks were showing a few minutes past 10. Slowly became to my senses as reality started to stake out its claim on my own mind, and my stomach fully growled. All right, war's war, but lunch should be served in due time. Turned out Olga wasn't here. She must have decided not to wake me up. Well, thanks go out to our camp leader for this. Yesterday's adventures I had to have a rest. Last night remained a blurry memory which I really didn't want to think about. It's now more important to find something to eat and to wash myself. Exactly, because a pioneer must always be clean and tidy. Though I would agree with this principle even if I wasn't a pioneer. And as a matter of fact, I'm not. On my way to the washstands, I met Nick. He started to wave his hands and ran up to me. Good morning. Thank you for finding Shirk. Without him, I don't even... It's nothing. I was a bit embarrassed. No, really. Don't be so shy. The country must be proud of its heroes. And what about Shirk? How did he look this morning? Is he alright? After yesterday's craziness, I thought such a question would be completely valid. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is that he can't remember anything. He can't, can he? I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to an abandoned camp yesterday and then woke up in his bed in the morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those two events. I see. Alright then. You missed breakfast, right? Come to our club. We'll feed you. I have something special. Nick smiled in a conspiratorial way. Thanks. I'll come probably. I had to wash myself first anyway. We'll be waiting. Yeah, wait for these nuts. He waved at me and left to carry out his own business. There was nobody near the washstands. Water turned out surprisingly warm today. It's been warmed up already, I guess. Having my face washed, I realized that it wouldn't be easy to wash the rest of my body here. Maybe I should go to the showers. But since nobody is here... I mean, how do you usually take a bath, bro? Like, you usually do it here, right? I turned the tap such a way the water streamed parallel to the ground. Started taking off my clothes. And what if somebody sees me? You know somebody's gonna see you. When you say this, a girl's gonna see you and start screaming. Well, I rinsed and dried myself quickly and put on my clothes. The water seemed warm on my hands and face. Felt bone-chillingly cold on my body. The whole wash process took longer than 10 seconds. Dang, bruh! And I started to wipe myself quickly afterwards. I didn't manage to finish anyway. There was voices coming in the direction of the footpath. The only solution came to me In a split second, I grabbed my clothes and dashed into the bushes. I told you they're gonna come. A moment later, Elisa and Ugly appeared near the washstands. You could have done it by yourself. Why did you bring me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed that they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. Wonder how they managed that. Because they're idiots. Elisa opened the valve and started to rub Ugly's back. Take off your bra. What if somebody sees us? What? Is there anything to see? Dang. She kind of spitting though. She grinned. Okay, just be quick. I'm sure there was there wasn't much to look at. But even so, I stared at the girls narrowly. Bro, put on the clothes and dip. It was a pity that they were standing near with their backs to me. A minute later, Elisa managed to wash off all the paint. I'm done. Thanks. You're welcome, Elisa replied lazily. Listen, let me try on yours. She pointed at Elisa's bra. It won't fit you for sure. Well, I'd like to try anyway. But out here, there's nobody here, right? Ugly looked my way and smiled archly. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in the bushes, but enough with this nonsense. Ugly wasn't listening to her anymore and grabbed Elisa's bra with a dexterous move instead. Now that I have to confess, I had something to look at. Hey, yo. I watched the two girls chase one another around the washstands and with bated breath. Elisa covered her breasts with her hands so I couldn't barely see anything at all. I leaned forward and stumbled over a stone, falling out of the bushes. This is too predictable, bro. Elisa and Ugly stood frozen, staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with my guilty face. Tabulua lasted for a few seconds. Then Elisa took her shirt and somehow put it on an instant. You! Her face gone from red to purple. Looked like she would explode in a nuclear blast any second. The only thing I wanted to do was to disintegrate into atoms and to get as far from the epicenter as possible. He was sitting there the whole time. So she noticed me then. You! And I accidentally, if you know what I mean, Elisa rushed him at me. Covering my butt with one hand and holding my clothes with the other, I ran into the woods. It seemed the best solution at me at the time, as showing up naked in the middle of the camp accompanied by two screaming girls wasn't a good idea, right? I ran without looking back. I stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. It seemed that there was no pursuit, so I managed to save myself. At the cost of lacerated, scratched, and bleeding feet, I had no time to put my boots on. I sat on a tree stump and sighed. Bro, just put on your clothes real quick. Some time later, having dressed already, I left the forest. And I decided to do what next. My feet are hurting, so I should go straight to the infirmary. But on the other hand, my stomach isn't going to wait either. Maybe I should accept Nick's invitation. Or head to the canteen and open and find something left to eat there. We got a couple of options. I mean, let's go to the club. He said he got some grub. Let's pull up. I was desperately hungry. I always took good care of my health. And even better care at the times when something started to hurt badly. And now I was able to walk and my feet weren't even hurting much. So my feet will heal up eventually while my hunger can wait. I decided to take advantage of Nick's invitation. In the end, knowing the local pioneers, it was smart to assume that there wasn't even a piece of stale bread left at the canteen. And the Cybernetics Club actually somewhat owed me. Right, like they owe you some food, bruh. With such thoughts, I approached the club's building. Heard some screams coming from it. I tried to listen closely, but I couldn't figure out anything. Hey, yo. No, is that my food? Why is she everywhere, bro? Like you were just at the... I hate her, bro. Give it back. No, I won't. Ugly was running around with the room with a... Oh, that's coil. I thought that was a donut. What the heck? A coil of wire in her hands, chased by Shrek. Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but give it back. They didn't even give me a bit of attention. No, I won't. Shrek, completely caught up in the chase, slipped past me, almost knocking me down. Hey! Ugly was running in circles around the room, laughing cheerfully. I wonder what she needs a wire for. Meanwhile, the head of the Cybernetics Club was looking fine, even after yesterday's madness. One could even say he was looking fresh. But this probably wouldn't help him to catch Ugly. She was smaller, more agile, and faster after all. She could easily drive him into exhaustion. Hey! Ugly ran up to me and hid behind my back. Shrek and his left turned to the club, slamming the door on his way out. He was offended, it seems. Hey, what's wrong with you? You won't catch me. She looked at Nick, who was silently observing all the silly running, and stuck her tongue out at him. Samuel, take the wire away from her. And what do you need in the first place? You don't have enough wire or something? He was trying to catch Ugly, who was hiding behind me. He moved to the right while she moved to the left. He moved to the left and she was moving to the right. In the end, I got tired of this and grabbed the wire from Ugly with one dexterous move. Give it to me. Give it back. She shouted resentfully. See, that's why nobody likes your ass, because you act like a kid. I won't. Stop horsing around. And that hairstyle is trash. What are you, a Barbie doll? I held the wire above my head so ugly with her eye couldn't possibly get it. Thank you. Okay, fine. She snorted and turned away from me. Why do you need it in the first place? That's none of your business. Ugly looked at me slyly. You want me to tell everybody that you... I shut her mouth with my hand and dragged her along to the exit. Okay, we need to go. I told Nick while giggling stupidly. And what did you come for? Once outside, I let the kicking Ugly free. Hear me out. You realize that was an accident. Even more so, it was caused by you. I know nothing. Facts are facts. You were watching us. Aww. What would Olga think? I don't care about what she think. On one hand, I did not want to care in the slightest what a camp leader would say, but on the other, everything was against me in my position. It would be better for not to get myself in such a situation. Fine, maybe we could make a deal somehow. She started to think. I know. I anticipated the worst. You bring me that wire, but what do you need it for? I need it for my needs. Okay, let's assume I get it. You won't tell anybody? I give you the word of a pioneer. I don't care about what you say, bro. Stop letting her You let these broads blackmail you, bro. This is why you take L's. I could hardly believe her. But on the other hand, it was just a coil of wire. So why shouldn't I try? No, I'm not doing it. No wire for you. Enough already. Then I'll tell everything. You'll tell everything anyway. Or Lisa will. Get lost. Yeah, sure. As if it was my fault. It is. You were watching us. No, I wasn't. No matter how much you slice it, I actually was. Lisa doesn't think so. She doesn't agree with me about a lot of things. And Olga won't be happy either. You know what? I started to lose my temper. If you want to tell everything, go ahead right now. Don't forget to mention that the government's default, world depression, global warming, and the Genesis flood are all my fault too. Now, come on, stop overreacting like that. I was joking. Suddenly realized that I was really wound up too much. Your jokes are stupid. What am I supposed to do every time? Guess if it was for real or a joke. It's more funny that way. Ugly turned around and ran towards the square, waving her hand in parting. Still, you can't deal with her in a harmonious way. I sighed and went back into the club's quarters. Bro, where's this food you was talking about? Nick was in the building, was building something with rap attention. Now I'm done with everything. So I thought you could get me something as you promised? My voice sounded a bit psychophantic, which was enough to drive me mad. Of course, I'm not insisting, but 1 minute. He tore himself away from his work and got a pair of buns from the drawer. The classic triangular pack of kefir. Be my guest. Thank you. I don't want to eat some buns from the drawer. While I was busy eating, Nick didn't turn away from his device for a second. He was rolling up the wire, which had taken away from Ugly onto the core. So what's this? An inductor? Inductor? Join our club and you'll know everything. I'm good, bruh. I'm good. He looked at me and smiled slyly. I'll think about it. Of course, I wasn't going to join anything, but taking into account that he had fed me, I had to be polite. By the way, as I said, I have something else. Well, yeah. Wait a second. He went into the adjacent room and came back after a minute with some kind of package. Ta-da! He gave it to me. There was a big bottle of blah 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 vodka inside. Huh. I get it, but it's still morning. Or does Nick share the motto of get drunk in the morning and take my entire day off? What are you talking about? I'm not suggesting we drink it. We have to clean the optics. Cleaning the optics. Yeah, right. Internally. Okay. I give him the package back. I'll go then. Come back anytime. Of course. The moment I want to have a drink. I'm walking out. I question myself why you wanted to show me the vodka in the first place. Suddenly my hunger returned again. Dude, you are the most hungriest, bro. Like, how much you eat? You just had, like, bread and some drink. For sure, a meal of buns and kefir was awesome, but not enough to fill me up. God dang, this man got the megalodon stomach. Lucky for me, I heard the bell sound, calling for pioneers for lunch. The day has just started, and I've gone through so many things already. But I did, and it now have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Today wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me, as I don't eat fish in any form, and hence will get fewer calories than usual. Soon Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Yes, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair. Please. I was in an excellent mood at the moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began to stare at me. It continued for some time, but then, after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Samuel? Not with you. Nope. I gave her an honest answer as, indeed, I had no plans. Except for searching for answers. But that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? What are y'all going now? Like, y'all think this is like Scooby-Doo, Adventures with Shaggy or something? Like, bro, no. The island. Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga asked us to gather up some strawberries. Okay. There are a lot of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. You can imagine the taste without even eating it. Just by looking at Slavia's face. There's so much mysteriousness, bro. Like, what is going on under in the bomb shelter, bro? Strawberries. And what are those for? I don't know. But it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I hadn't been to this island yet. Yeah, sure. I guess I'm going with y'all. Within minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. We gotta actually paddle. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really. But they're tasty. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next. How to continue the conversation. Bro, just say, hey, yo, how was your sleep? You know, like, what's your thoughts on the whole situation with Shirt? Like, you got so many things to talk about. Awkward ass. If Slavia didn't come back, we would probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. Of course, I'm doing all the work. We got into the boat, untied it, pushed it off the shore, and tried to start paddling. And where exactly are we heading to? Right there. She pointed the finger at the island. The island that is named the closest one. I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed the closest to the shore. Aye, aye, captain. If I only known what I was waiting for me ahead. I was an experienced oarsman. I rowed a boat just once or twice in my life. Then less than a half of the mile to the island. We were making way in zigzags thanks to my skills. By approximately the middle of the trip to my arms hurt so badly, I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, aren't there any strawberries anywhere else? I mean, in more accessible places? Tastiest ones grow there. Slavia gave me a puzzled look. Is it hard for you to row alone? Yeah, with 3 people in the one boat. Lena, unlike Slavia, understood everything straight away. Oh, it's nothing. No, don't put your pride in the way. Say, yeah, go help me. Anyway, I couldn't let a fragile girl help me. Man. The rest of the way I spent concentrating on staying alive while getting to the island. Plus, that's a perfect segue for her to jump next to you and then... Come on, bro, come on. Slavia and Yinya discussed something. I wasn't listening. But I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. Bro, your attention span is trash. At last, we arrived. Okay, hold up. I see the distance. I completely exhausted. I got out on the shore and looked at the boathouse. It seemed right away that I felt like first person on the mirror watching the earth rise. Here you go. Slavia handed me the basket. It was a small island. Barely 100 meters long. It looked more like a birch grove with even rows of trees covering its entire surface. A calm green sea spread beneath our feet, with wind causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. The island looked like lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberries grow there, just here. We've got to split up. That way we'll do the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there are only 2 baskets, Lena said humbly. Oh, you're right. My bad. How are we going to split up then? You know what I'm gonna do? Come on, bro. I don't care about you in this route, Slavia. I'm sorry. We're going in with Lena. Let me go with you. Let's go. Okay, that's fine. We just left her behind. Why does it matter? Like, it's a small island. It's not like we're gonna be completely alone. Slavia grabbed the second basket and ventured to the opposite side of the island. Well, let's go. Yeah, Lena smiled. Just pay attention. Don't leave a single berry behind. You too. Yeah, so it was harvest time. Indeed, the strawberries were delicious. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being grown wild, the berries were close to the garden ones in size. They had rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Lena followed me closely as we only had one basket for the both of us. It felt like a real mushroom picker, examining each shrub and carefully pawing the grass. Well, you're much better than me. Am I? Frankly, I'm not even counting them. Yeah, right you are. The basket was already half full. You must enjoy nature, right? I do. What the heck? Oh, I was about to say, like, what are you taking a picture of her? The bright sun rays pierced the treetops and blinded me for a second. I sat down on the ground and leaned against a tree. Still, it's so beautiful here. Lena sat down next to me, so close that their elbows touched. Yeah, we just sat and enjoyed the moment. Seemed like time stood still. The wind gently took the tree leaves. Some bugs lazily hopped around the grass, and the splashes of sunlight played on the fair white water surface. Dang, already? We already saw it falling asleep like that? I already got my hands over her. Okay, hold up. Lena put her head on my shoulder. I was surprised at first, but then I heard her regular breathing and thought that it's just a matter of course. She probably felt drowsy and wanted to take a quick nap. I just sat there, didn't think of anything for a few minutes. Then words started crossing my mind with ultrasonic speed. Lena. So close. Sleeping. So warm. So gentle. Feelings. I gazed at her. She had such a serene, such a tranquil look on her face that it seemed that right now she's not here, but in some kind of better world. I don't know what would happen at the next moment if I didn't hear the voice of Slavia. Semyon! Lena! I shook my head from side to side a few times to come to my senses. Lena started to wake up. She opened her eyes and gave me an empty look. Have a nice dream? Huh? Suddenly realized that she dozed off leaning on my shoulder. Lena blushed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. Slavia came over to us, so Lena rushed to get up. So how much have you got? I sighed. It's not a lot. My basket was filled with strawberries to the brim. Well, it's enough anyway. It's time to get back. I don't care. I got a close-up moment with Lena. What you mean? I grabbed the basket and we headed back to the boat. The way back took less time, and I tried to concentrate on rowing and ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip hadn't gone without consequences, and now my hands started to hurt after only a few sweep of the oars. Having tied up the boat, I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavia and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Hey guys, you forgot. He's a man. Yes. Never mind, it's fine. I'll just lie here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay. Then just get those baskets to Olga, please. We have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at the moment so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavia put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After rowing, they felt like cement bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 50 meters to have a rest. Is it that bad, bro? And once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat next to the deck chair with difficulty. Olga, I've got presents for you. There was no answer. I barely managed to get up and into the cabin. There's nobody there. If you don't need them, it's up to you. I lay down on the deck chair and fell asleep. Really? Hey, yo, what is this? I had a weird dream about strawberry race. I was rowing a boat with my last ounce of strength, trying to escape huge berries that were chasing me. Oh, they were hungry. My hands were failing me and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the berries were getting closer, baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Semyon! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Thanks to the girls' help. So what are these options where we could like take all the credit to ourselves? Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. Well, make a cake out of them. I see. That makes sense. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shirk. And that's all thanks to you. What? Lena helped me. It was clear that getting the strawberries wasn't the last thing left to do. And why, please tell me if I'm such a hero. Why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. We're missing yeast, flour, and sugar. And we need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can't deal with it on their own somehow? Asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. And you're the only one in the camp who does nothing. I could be doing something else, but you're bothering me. Well, her words were partly true. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So write it down. You'll get the yeast in the infirmary, the flour in the library, and the sugar in the clubhouse. Wait up. I have no time. I'm in a hurry. Good luck. She smiled shyly and laughed. Ah, that makes me really mad. Of course, there are a lot of strangers in this camp. Demo. Yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library and sugar? No. It's way beyond my comprehension. Spat on the floor. I don't want to. You would not believe this. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls would appear right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated. So maybe to hell with this cake? I weighed my options for some time. No, if such a major plan of Olga fell through, I'd be in a world of hurt. And it would complicate both my life in the camp and my search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. It seems I have no choice. Yeah, you don't. So, let's go to the infirmary first. Let's get that guapo. I felt like I've visited the infirmary too often recently. But what can I do? That's how things pan out. I sighed and knocked on the door. Come in, the nurse said with a trace of a sing-song accent. Alright, what's up? Good afternoon. Olga has sent me to get some... I hesitated slightly. Yeast. Ah, sure. She gave me a broad smile. It's just that I don't have any. Pioneer. How so? She said that. Well, I had some, but now there's none left. I didn't even bother asking why she had it in the first place. Well, don't you worry. You can have some aspirin, for example. That could be of some use to me, actually. Where do I get it then? I sighed. Take this. She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of bottle. What the heck is that? Cheap beer. What the heck? Why are you giving me beer? I took a closer look. It was beer. What's the matter? Beer is also a fermented product. She gave me a deep gaze. Nobody will even notice. She had a point, but everything just looked so... I skipped that on. Grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. Are you sure? Absolutely. Okay then. The bottle clearly wouldn't fit in the pocket of my shorts. Well, thanks. I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Well, beer certainly could replace yeast. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology wasn't enough to accept this. Generally, walking around with this bottle in my hands looked like a silly idea to me, so I decided to bring it to Olga's cabin and hide it there. But I had to reach it somehow without anybody noticing the beer. Why are you so self-conscious? Like, dude, who cares? I had the bottle on my shirt. Bro, and everything would have been fine, but Slavia called out to me at the square. She actually sprang out from behind so suddenly that I even gave a start. Bro, dude, just hold it like normal, and if they ask you, just tell them why you have it. It's not that deep. How's it going? What exactly? You search for ingredients? Ah, so you know already. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going all right. Answered, trying not to give away my unrest. What do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from my shirt. Ah, this is... She got me. It's nothing. I blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. Bro, you just made it weird. I was almost running, leaving the square with the puzzled Slavia behind. It's great that she's one of the people who don't ask unnecessary questions. But there are people in this camp who like nothing better to poke their noses into other people's business. Passing the pioneer's cabin, I stumbled upon Ugly. This is what I was talking about. What are you hiding there? She gave me one of those her cheeky looks. I thought there was no point in denying anything, so I replied in a provocative manner. It's none of your business. I'm a cipher officer bearing a message to the headquarters. That's certainly a big message. I was carrying a bottle at a vast weight, so I was slightly embarrassed. You want some help? I'll deal with it on my own. I walked past her confidently and proceeded on my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything, nor try to pursue me. There was nobody at Olga's cabin, so I successfully managed to stuff the bottle under my bed. Once I got outside, I sighed with relief. I really couldn't believe that I would ever worry that much about a single bottle of beer. Dude, yeah, it's not that deep. Like I was back in high school. It's a good thing it's safe now. Even if somebody finds it, I'll claim that it's not mine. I could always think of a suitable excuse for my enormous experience. Bro, you could have done that in the first place. It was not that deep. Alright, let's get the flour. If every other place on the cake ingredient list at least made some sense to me, then flour from the library made none. I thought hard about who would put it in the library and why. Why would you not just go to the canteen? Like, why does the canteen, the place that they make the food, not have all the ingredients for cake? Oh, bruh. I couldn't find any sane explanation after all. Given Zinya's harsh nature, I better knock first. Is Zinya even in here? Open. Oh, that's right. I forgot. She's an introvert. She's an incel. Zinnia peered at me closely from behind her glasses. What do you want? Don't think anything weird, but I didn't want to look like an idiot and decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga said that it's here. I understand that it sounds strange to keep flour in the library, but I was sent to you, and it's needed for a cake to celebrate Shirk's rescue. Yes, I have the flour. What's so strange about it? Zinnia replied with a surprise. At that second, I felt like I'd been hit on the head with a heavy weight and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library. Sure, what's so strange about it? We're in Wonderland. I'm mindless. Now I'm gonna go eat the magic shroom and I'll be back home. Hey. Yeah? I was daydreaming. Wait here, I'll be right back. Just give me the hoe. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I folded my hands and started to wait. A moment later, a sound of a trapdoor groaning on its hinges reached me. Hey, you need some help? I inquired loudly. I'll deal with it. Zinnia barked out to me. Seems to be in the basement, so I have to wait a little. Okie dokie. A few minutes passed. Zinnia still hadn't returned. I started to get worried when the door suddenly flung open and Elisa came into the library. I just always run into y'all. She looked so surprised too, seeing me here. What are you doing here? Am I not allowed to be here? I said rudely to her. Elisa clearly was a bit overwhelmed. What do I care? She snorted and headed to Zinnia's table. And why are you here then? Elisa measured me with her eyes carefully and almost opened the mouth to say something, but then it seemed to change her mind and turned away, hiding her hands behind her back. Returning a book? You read? I didn't know your brain could handle that. I blurted the first thing off the top of my head. It's none of your business. She replied with a hint of hesitation. What book is it? Elisa was silent. Oh, come on, let me see it. I wonder what Miss High Voltage Keep Away reads. It's none of your business. Her voice was even less confident. Okay, don't insist or anything. I don't insist or anything. In fact, I was quite interested to find out what Elisa was reading. Moreover, I was quite amused to see a book in her hands. TV, movies, or computer. If one were available here, all things seemed to be much more appropriate entertainment for a girl like her. She hadn't had a book instead. Tried to snatch the book out of her. I'm good, I'll respect her privacy. Curiosity killed the cat. Anyway, it's Elisa. And that it means it could quickly turn into a total mess. Plus, I still have ingredients to collect. Well, I'll come later. Bye, boy. Elisa left the library quickly without looking at me. It got me thinking, what could this book be about if she wasn't so ashamed of it? And ashamed Elisa is something extraordinary by itself. But Elisa is ashamed about a book. But what's the point of guessing now? There's no way to find out anything at all. Finally, Zinnia's deep groan rang out, reaching each and every corner of the library. Grab it! It passed by the bookshelves and beheld perspiring librarian sitting near the trapdoor, leading into the basement with a small sack next to her. Well, they might have some sort of storehouse down here. Thanks. I took the sack and left the library. You have this random sack of flour in the basement of a library. This is strange. Thank goodness it wasn't too heavy. So I carried it down to Olga's cabin without too much effort. Alright, clubhouse, let's get it. It feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be look for sugar there. But it doesn't... what? Are y'all making Misfortune from Skullgirls? What are y'all doing? Shirk and Nick were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of robot, or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was a female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about the purpose of such a device for luminaries of a camp cybernetics. Even though the design practically workable, I had my doubts about the robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. And it was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but... well, never mind, it's okay. What brings you to our humble abode? Nick looked at me shyly. Sometimes I feel he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in the right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an Asian video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit-like builder or something cried out with all of its 5-pixel stature. Gold. We need more gold. We got it, Nick said calmly. What would you want it? I felt that I shouldn't explain to Shurik that they want to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil surprise. I don't know. Ogo told me to get some. Okay, how you going? Nick disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? You should have said that for all the other ingredients. When the food truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload. There's a truck that comes in here? And given that they're building this the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here and to save some effort. That is the most laziest food truck ever. If you don't haul ass behind the canteen. What? That's reasonable, isn't it? I should fire them. I should pull a Karen. The door opened, revealing Nick hauling a huge bag behind him. I really didn't know what size of the cake will be, but it was obvious too much sugar. Well, thanks. I don't need all of it. I didn't eat it all. But where would we put it? Nick gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. Seems that the previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy. Pointed his hand at the robot. I gazed at Shurik. He owed me after all. He hesitated and looked away in shame. I sighed, I took the bag, and I headed to the door. Thanks anyway, I said, parting, exerting myself. I didn't make it too far. After a mere 20 meters, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On the one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, it was such a distance with this payload on my shoulder. Impossible for it to cover. As I resigned myself and moved in minor sprints, prolonged pauses between them, so I can get there by night at least. Heard a voice behind me. Maybe I could help you? Oh, Lena, just convenient in time. Saw Lena in front of me. I don't think you can. Dude, are we bringing misogyny in the game already? Come on. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. I can bring a handcart. A handcart. Why didn't I think of that myself? Yes, that would be a great idea. Well, here, I'll be right back. She smiled and ran in the direction of the square. What would I do without her? It's good that Lena isn't always shy and can take the initiative sometimes. Started to think. She seemed quite unusual now, with no trace of shyness on her face, and actually the complete opposite. Smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena. A few minutes later, she came back with a smallish handcart. Put the bag down on it. Thanks. Don't mention it. Treblesson looked down. Oh, the Lena we all know is back. So I'll go then. Yes, see you. Thank you again. I shouted after her. Sometimes I felt like there were two different people living inside of Lena. The second one, confident, happy, and sometimes even bold, only appears when she talks to me. Or am I making things up again? It's just who she truly is, bruh. I thought it would be better getting all the ingredients at once, so I headed to Olga's cabin with the handcart. Finally, it seemed that everything had been collected. Took the handcart with the sugar outside and put the sack with the flour in it, and then followed by the 2 baskets of strawberries. somehow fitted between. The beer was hiding under my shirt, just in case. Oh, you're so stupid, bro. What if you drop it? The day was coming to its end, so I had to hurry, as cake itself needs some time to bake. Of course, I'd rather enjoy lying down, closing my eyes, and getting some decent sleep. But I couldn't just let Olga down. Indeed, after all the trouble I'd gone to, I even felt personally responsible for the success of this event. Coming to the square, I stopped for a moment to catch my breath. It wasn't the cart that was heavy. It ran smoothly without any noticeable effort required. It was just that any physical exertion caused pain to me now, both a physical and mental one. Hey, yo? Sat on the bench and closed my eyes for a moment. Bro, stop being lazy. What's that? I didn't really give a damn who it was. Probably just a fellow pioneer girl taking an interest in an unfamiliar companion in distress. What are you talking about? I asked her tiredly. She didn't reply. Those are the ingredients for a cake. Do you like cakes? I don't know. What, you never tried a cake? I don't know. Obviously the girl didn't get what I was talking about, but it didn't surprise me at the moment. I wasn't really interested in the conversation, so I was so tired that I had zero intention of classifying external distractions and tagging them as either common or uncommon. I see. Come out to the canteen later and have a bite. Really? Really? What are they made of? What? Accent differently. These cakes. Well, some flour, some sugar, various fillings. Now that's a strange question. She didn't know what cakes are made of? And you have it all here? Yeah, sort of. And sugar? And sugar. Could you lend me a little? What for? Thought it was over the top. Open your eyes! Sudden gust of wind made me grab the cart instinctively and open my eyes. However, nobody was there. Am I daydreaming? I noticed, though, that the sugar sack was untied. A small heap of it had poured out. Could it be that she was scared by the wind and ran away? There's somebody here stalking me. Having fixed the sack, I got up from the bench and continued on, challenging my strawberry way. There wasn't a single person near the canteen. No wonder the dinner was still an hour away. Brought the handcart near the rear exit and handed the foodstuffs to the camp cook. He must have been already told what to do with them, as she gave me such an unpleasant look. I'm not sure how long it takes to bake a cake, but it seems she had to hurry. It's because you took forever. Just wanted to relax for the remaining time up until dinner. In short, I was so tired that I sat on the steps and waited. This man always sleeping. My eyes closed themselves. I guess I got so tired throughout the day, I didn't even care to even notice how someone came up to me until they patted me on the shoulder. Ah, here we go. We didn't see her, so we gotta see her now. Hi! Mika was standing before me. Yeah, I didn't need a mirror to imagine the expression of skepticism and annoyance on my favor. Oh, excuse me. I must have interrupted you. No problem. I was just sitting here. Oh, alright then. Miko beamed with a smile. I was just coming to dinner and I thought it was time already, and then it appeared to me that it's too early. But I decided to check in just in case. Maybe it's not me who's mistaken, but the clock is. Well, not the clocks. Clocks can't be mistaken. It's just that I misread it. She seemed to be ultimately confused now and fell silent. It's still about a half an hour before dinner. Oh, that's great. Then I'll sit here and wait with you if you don't mind. Frankly speaking, I do mind. You know, I have some matters to attend to. He is just dodging her. Stood up quickly and left without saying goodbye, ignoring Miku as I always did, while she screamed something after me. A minute later, I sat to the square and sat on the bench, the firm intention of finding a quiet and safe place here to wait for dinner. I think this is the first time in the last 4.5 days I felt like this. I wasn't irritated because of some insignificant details, but indeed, I was really angry. I completely stopped caring about where I am and why I'm here. I don't care about how to get out either. What's driving me mad is that I always have to carry out some stupid task given by our camp leader, and it's always me who gets into stupid situations and sometimes even ends up looking down like a clown. If all of this is some alien trick or a plot of the universal mind, they better consult with their psychiatrist. I gritted my teeth and clenched my fist. And the most annoying thing is that everything seems to happen by itself now, somehow. And having not to carry bags of sugar that weigh a ton. But I still had no choice at all. I mean, any other option would lead to much more consequences. Worse consequences than a muscle strain or a hurt pride. What are you angry with? I'm angry at you. I gotta see your face every freaking day. You pop out of nowhere and I'm supposed to give a crap. Ugly was standing in front of me and smiled slightly. Nobody really. I answered absently. My fist gave me away. Just like that. Okay. It's up to you. You better tell me. Why did you run all around the camp the whole day with some kind of bags? I had to. I replied reluctantly. I guess it was food. Maybe it was. Ugly was about to say something, but at that moment, the bell rang, calling for the pioneers for dinner. I sighed in relief and quickly headed to the canteen, leaving Ugly behind. I just don't even talk to him, I just leave him. Semyon, thank you very much. I need a kiss on the cheek as a reward. For what? The camp leader gave me a friendly smile. The cake, of course. Sure. It was at that exact moment that I understood the true meaning of keep your thanks to feed your cat. You didn't tell anybody. This ought to be a surprise. Yeah, that's my boy. And now off you go to dinner. Olga waved her hand, pointing at the canteen. Okay. I stepped through the doorway slowly and started to look for a free place. Turned out there were plenty today, so I got a chance to eat alone. There was a fish, mashed potatoes for dinner. What misfortune once again. I'll be left half hungry. Didn't we have fish for lunch? Is it fish only today? I've been pushing my place with the fried sea dweller away. I laid my head on my hands and closed my eyes. But soon somebody came up to my table. Hey, are you alright? I'm fine. I replied without changing my position. Just tired? Yeah, a little. That's bad, Slavia said seriously. Of course. Remember that we were going for the hike after dinner, don't you? Have you prepared everything? I didn't tell you that. What? What? Where? I opened my eyes and lifted my head up instantly. Lena was standing by Slavia. The hike. She was surprised. Didn't you know? No. I'm going to sleep. Put my head down on the table and covered it with my hands. If only I could sink it to the ground right away. The girls remained silent. I was left alone with my thoughts for some time, and that was fine by me. Maybe I could have sat that way until the end of dinner time, but the strong voice of Olga was heard from the opposite of the canteen. Guys, to celebrate the miraculous rescue of our friend and comrade Shurik, we baked this cake for you all. I lifted my head idly and looked towards the camp leader. Couldn't see anything beyond the pioneers' backs. A second, nothing about me rescuing Shurik or gathering the ingredients for the cake, as if that's how it ought to be. Well, it would be wrong to expect anything else from our camp leader. Let's go. Or we won't get our share. Slavia smiled. Let's go. Lena agreed. Yeah, sure. I got up reluctantly and tagged along behind the girls. As we approached the crowd of pioneers, Olga was just putting the cake in the center of the table. And now... Wait, what? The camp leader wasn't able to finish as Ugly rushed out to the... First of all, that cake do not look like it has strawberries. What the freak is that? Rushed out from the pioneer crowd and dived into the cake. What are you doing, bro? Like, this cake is for everyone else. Wait. This is why no one likes you. You act like a kid. I stared blankly from the outside at all this drama. Elisa smiling. Lena picked up some cream from her finger. All the fierce pioneers are around. I felt completely out of place here. And I thought that if I close my eyes now and open them again, here I am, back to safety of my apartment in front of a computer. Right? I blinked, but nothing changed. Only the noise and confusion became sharper. Bro, I would just leave. Ugly. That's the limit. I just... Well, in fact, behaving like this is a bit over the top even for her. Shark broke into the conversation. Or is it court martyr? Please, Olga. Since the cake is celebrating my return, it's no big deal. He hesitated. It doesn't matter. The camp leader turned to Ugly. And you. Today I'm going to punish you to the fullest extent, so you'll behave next time. Whatever. She snorted to turn back. You won't be going on the hike with us tonight. As if I wanted to. I was more willing to switch places with Ugly and skip the hike instead of her. But who knew? If I had guessed beforehand, I had been the first one to go berserk and smash the damn cake. After a couple of minutes of confusion, the pioneers started to disperse. You have to get ready too. There'll be a lineup at the square half an hour. I looked straight into the eyes of the camp leader, trying to express my attitude non-verbally, but it seemed that I failed. So we're not gonna eat the cake? Don't be late. Ugla was sitting at the table when I approached her on my way to the exit. So why did you do it? She looked very upset, but she had the right to be so. I wanted to. Ugly replied abruptly. So you're happy now? Of course I am. And you. Good luck with the hiking. See, I don't get her. I don't like this. I know. She smiled mischievously, sprang up, and rushed out of the canteen. Well, a little bit of luck wouldn't hurt. Walk and you shall reach is exactly this proverb that kept whirling in my head all the way down to the camp leader's cabin. Somehow I couldn't manage to argue, to pretend that I'm sick, or to just skip it without reason. The events of this day taught me submissiveness, although sometimes whatever was happening made no sense to me. As I walked in, I had a thought. Well, in fact, how should I get ready? Clothes? I only have an overcoat and a pair of jeans. Anyway, I forgot to ask whether it's going to be an overnight hike or not. Could have thinking anything better, so I grabbed a sweater that I had on me when I arrived in the camp. I might be fairly chilly, and shuffled off slowly to the square. All the camp was already there, although it was about 10 minutes before the time Olga had designated. I settled down near the edge and waited patiently. Night was falling. Alright, y'all. We're gonna stop here. Alright, y'all. I mean, that's it. I don't know what to think of this episode. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a whirlwind of like confusion, thoughts, and like I just don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm a little confused though, because like this whole situation makes it seem like all what happened, downplaying all what happened, which I don't know. Like the whole Shirk situation, like we need to go back and see why Shirk lost his memory when he went down to the bunker. Also the fact that the bunker has like an underground unit where like you can like literally get from the Gendo statue to that place. I mean, I'm sure it's just like emergencies, but still a little weird. You know, the dream we had, the nightmare that we had of, I felt like maybe that was foreshadowing something. We talked to this mysterious girl in our dreams so far in the whole game. And now when we went to go sleep at the bench, she was there too. Like, what's going on with that? So I'm just kind of confused on like the sequencing of all of this. I don't know what to make of it, but surely, hopefully you guys can theorize down below. I'm confused, bro. That's all it is, bro. Yeah, well, I guess we'll figure it out, you know? Appreciate you guys for supporting as usual, hitting the like goal. Hopefully we get somewhere. I'm not saying that I'm not enjoying this, because I'm enjoying this, but it just feels like a tease, like a climax to something. Like we're gonna get somewhere, but we're not getting anywhere. Like there's so much things that are being teased, so much things that are like hinting to something, alluding to something, but it doesn't get anywhere. Like nothing really clicks, nothing like oh shoot, like it's like that, you know what I mean? Like nothing just cool, exciting with the story as far as I can say. It's getting more interesting, but it's just hopefully something starts happening, because we'll see what happens. Appreciate everyone supporting. Yeah, it does seem like we're gonna get better with our relationship with Lena is getting better, so that's I think that's a good thing. So we'll see what happens from there. Either way, I'm gonna head out. Y'all stay blessed, keep your head straight strong. I'm gonna see one else of you.